Hey guys, Zach here. It's been a while since I uploaded anything on this channel, but I'm uploading this podcast, and I just want to know what you guys think. I'm putting it on this channel before I put it on my main channel, just because I want to gauge the reaction of some of my closer subscribers and see what you guys think. It's kind of going to be a longer format, maybe not longer, but a less edited format. I'm trying to teach myself to talk more fluently and be better voice-wise, because that's kind of what I struggle with. So it's kind of a practice thing, and it's also a way for me to get out regular content without having to set up my camera and everything. I'm in my new dorm room, so it's pretty small. Anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should call it, if you like it, because I don't really have a title. I think in the recording I just called it the Zebra Cloak Podcast, but if you could come up with a more clever title, go ahead and comment below. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please enjoy the podcast voice video thing. Bye. Hello, citizens of YouTube, and welcome to the very first Zebra Cloak podcast. This is going to be something that I want to do to try and get more content out, but I don't really have the space and the privacy and the time to set up all my camera equipment and record actual videos. So this is a new format I wanted to try out. Let me know what you think about it. Today, this topic is Hulk versus Wolverine. Could they appear in a movie together? Would it work out? Is it even possible? How would it go? And we might go off on tangents and talk about some other stuff as well. Basically, what's bringing this video to you is I read an article on moviepilot.com. If you like movies and you're not familiar with moviepilot.com, you might want to go check them out, because it's a great website. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just really love the website. It's where I get a lot of my movie information. It does kind of sound like I'm sponsoring them, but I really am not. Anyway, basically, I read an article titled Hugh Jackman Wants to Fight Wolverine in an Avengers Sequel. It's by ZergNet, which that's a username, obviously. I don't think that's a real name, but yeah, this guy, he tells you that he talks about how Hugh Jackman was quoted in saying that he would want to be a part of the Avengers, or he would want his character, the Wolverine, to be a part of the Avengers. There's a direct quote here. I'll go ahead and put a screenshot of the quote up right now, but it says, "I would love to see him as a part of the Avengers because there's a great dysfunction among the team, and I think Wolverine would fit right into that. He's like that. There's no doubt he'd get into a fight with the Hulk at some point. Those two bad, rage-filled characters are going to square off at some point. It would be quite fun. I don't know how much fun to shoot it would be, because I'm sure I'd be at the worst end of it, but hey, he can heal." Now, what's interesting about him saying this is because Wolverine and Hulk actually fight in the original Marvel Comics all the time. And they're probably the longest fights that either of them tend to go to, because they really do fight all the time. In fact, Wolverine wasn't originally an X-Men. He first appeared in the Incredible Hulk, I believe it's the Incredible Hulk 181. It's the first appearance of Wolverine. They call him like the world's the first and greatest Canadian superhero. He looks a little different on the cover. I actually did a painting of the cover in high school as an art project. But anyway, it's interesting that Hugh Jackman thinks that Wolverine would be cool in a movie fighting Hulk. Obviously, it would be hard to do because Hulk is mostly CGI, but they do it with, in the first Avengers, the Hulk fought Thor, and he also threw Loki around like a sack of potatoes. But yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting idea because it really would be cool. They really do fight a lot in the comics. In fact, in the Ultimate Universe, which is a different universe than the main universe, Hulk actually rips the Wolverine. He actually rips the Wolverine in half. He pulls his legs and his entire lower pelvis apart. And I'm not entirely sure how that ends. I think that the Wolverine is able to put himself back together. I think Logan is able to fit his spine back together and then it heals. But yeah, the fight could be really cool if they put a lot of time into it. If they put as much time into the fight as it seems like they're going to do for the Hulkbuster versus Hulk in Avengers 2, where Iron Man is fighting the Hulk. If they put that much effort into it, the fight could really be cool. Unfortunately, the fight probably won't happen because Fox Studios owns the X-Men and the character of Wolverine, the movie rights to Wolverine, and Disney and Disney and Marvel Studios owns Hulk. So, unless the characters were to somehow be borrowed, like if Fox were to allow Disney to borrow the character, that could possibly happen. It's difficult because the studios, none of them get along. They're all competing together, and they don't realize that they could just make better movies if they were to combine. A lot of people want Sony to sell the Spider-Man rights back to Disney so that we can have Spider-Man in the Avengers. That would really be cool, actually, because Spider-Man is a lot younger than the actual Avengers, because he's like a high schooler. He's more of a college student, and he basically kind of like fanboys or fangirls whenever he sees the Avengers. Like, oh my god, this is so cool! I'm with the Avengers. And so basically, that could be really cool in a movie. That would really be funny, and I bet Spider-Man would be cool. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I don't actually want Spider-Man to be only in those movies, because I really do love the Amazing Spider-Man series, the Mark Webb series that's currently going on. I really love it. I really love where they're going with it, and it does have a different feel than the Disney's Avengers movies. And I'm afraid that if they were to sell that back, it wouldn't work too well. But if they were to give these characters, if Fox and Sony were both to sell their characters back to Marvel, even if they don't sell it, they could just let them borrow it or let them pay for the rights. You could still have an epic movie, because there's this storyline in the Marvel comics called the Civil War. And basically what happens is there's so many superhumans out there that the government decides to enact a mandatory registration for anyone who has superpowers. And this basically starts a battle among the superheroes, because the problem is some superheroes have secret identities, so they don't want to register their names as someone with superpowers, and some of them just think, hey, we shouldn't be bound into this law. Basically, they want to make them almost like police and assign them regions of the city, kind of make everything structured. And so basically, it's just this big battle between various groups of superheroes just fighting themselves. There's the X-Men are kind of mostly on one side, some of them are on the other side, and it's X-Men versus Avengers, and then the X-Men start being hunted, and it's a lot happens. So they could explore that storyline. That would be really cool, and it wouldn't be that far-fetched to say that it would be a little hard to be like, oh, by the way, these mutants exist. We've known this all along, but we just never talked about it. And then it would also not really make sense, because Professor Xavier probably would have invited some of the Avengers to join their school for the gifted, because it doesn't say it has to be mutants, but there's it could be really cool. It might actually have too much going on. That's one thought that I have, because there'd be so many superheroes, and they could all have individual movies, but they could also have larger movies. Some people already think that the actual Avengers movie has too much going on, and maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy movie has too much going on. But I personally think those movies are pretty well balanced. But I would agree that a movie where you have, 50 superheroes all fighting each other, that it might not work out. But it could happen if the studios decide, hey, instead of selling our characters back and instead of making not so good movies, we could, give our characters temporarily to Disney and let them make a really cool Avengers / Civil War movie. Yeah, so this is just something that I found interesting. Excuse me. I'm not used to talking for long periods of time like this. It's something that I found interesting. I still can't talk. Interesting. I find the concept oh my god. Interesting. But I'm not sure if I would really want it. Go ahead and comment down below what you think. Would it be cool to have, a larger superhero movies with multiple franchises put together? Or do you like the fact that Fox owns X-Men and Sony owns Spider-Man and Disney owns a lot of the other ones? Do you prefer that, or would you rather have them all fighting in one movie? I really would love to see Wolverine fight Hulk. In fact, I would like to just dedicate a movie to it, and I would like to direct it. So if anyone from Fox or Disney is listening to this and they're looking for someone to direct or write, or just have a part in creating a Wolverine versus Hulk movie, go ahead and comment below or send me a private message, or you can email me at zebracloakfan@gmail.com. Just if you want to put me on there. I wouldn't argue. I might have to move some stuff around in my schedule, but I think I could probably get on board with that. Could probably find the time. No, I'm sure that won't happen. But I thank you for watching, or I guess listening. You're kind of watching because this will be on YouTube. But yeah, just let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this new format of a video, this podcast style. Do I need to get better at talking, or should I just stick to the jump-cutted videos? What do you guys think? Thanks for listening. Comment below, like this video, share it. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the topic choice. Should I move on to something else? Should I stop talking about superheroes and should I talk about other movies or TV shows? Should I bring in some guests and try and get some of my filmmaking friends to talk on this? I've never actually done anything like that, collaborative. So it might be interesting. It might be kind of awkward conversations, but just let me know. Comment below, like this, share it. Thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye.